Hey there, everyone. Anarchangel here. We're here with Nilka and Coyote Khan. We need to get an
Hello.
intro with Khan on it. So,
I'm almost done with the big project that takes all of my free time, and I'll be able to actually work on an intro.
awesome. So we got a lot of topics to discuss tonight, and I know the title topic is probably the one everyone's going to want to hear about the most. So we'll go ahead and jump on that to start, and that is the collapse of the wonderful site known as NeoGAF.
You're jumping right into the GAF.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So trying to think where to begin with this. Like, I guess it starts the guy, the head of the site, that's Evilor, right?
Yeah, I would start at the very beginning, which
Okay.
involved a Facebook post, was it?
Was it a Facebook post?
Yes,
Or
it was.
Yeah, it was a
Okay,
Facebook
yeah.
post.
Well, you guys go on that then.
This Facebook post of the style of a lot of stuff that's been going on this month was a woman talking about an incident that happened. In this case, not naming who it was, but saying it was someone who was semi-famous in, was it the gaming industry?
Okay.
That was a noise. Well, they gave this story where basically they didn't feel well. Maybe they were drunk or something. I don't remember. But they went to go take a shower, and then this other person appeared behind them and wanted to enter the shower with them.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
She said no. He eventually left. That's my understanding of it. And then people were asking for the person who posted this to say who it was, like be brave and actually fight back against the person. So they said Google Evilor, and thus here we are.
Oh boy. So upon this information coming out, NeoGAF's kind of a shithole of a site anyway.
It's amazing to watch the messages coming out of that site right now.
Oh yeah, and it had pretty much established itself as a progressive leftist pug box well before this. So the individuals at NeoGAF did not take this information very well at all, and they all kind of went into a blind rage. And there was originally like 7 mods or 7 admins, and like all but one of them quit.
Either quit or were removed. It's not clear which. Normally, they run their forum with an iron fist. If you do anything they don't like, you will be banned. To the point where there is a picture going around of someone who was banned for saying that there was groupthink and everyone thought the same were allowed to think something else. And the ban said, if you believe that, if you believe we're a hive mind, you don't need to be here. Banned forever. That's NeoGAF. That is quintessential NeoGAF. In fact, I bet that's on their ED page. I'm going to check.
I put the screenshots in the DM group.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll go ahead and see about getting those out as soon as my computer wants to cooperate, or unless Nope wants to get it before I do.
I'm getting it.
Okay. There we are. Oh boy.
Yes. Oh, these are. Oh, this post. The actual original post. I will pull that up so that I can read it easier. Oh, if you want to read it, I don't know. We already summarized it.
Yeah, we can. Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I just got in the shower fully naked behind me. I had a boyfriend at the time.
You're mumbling.
Get sick. My boyfriend didn't want that. He got out until he started resenting me, being mean to me. Couldn't make it get home. Couldn't tell my partner for fear he'd claim I'd lead him on. My relationship suffered with my boyfriend. We broke up after that.
Oh wow! I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, somehow I think she's exaggerating it a little, but I don't even care because NeoGAF. I couldn't come out about the situation because the perpetrator is semi-famous. There's websites dedicated to this person's sexual assault history.
Doesn't that sound fun?
Wow, I didn't know. I was scared. I was tired. I can't post his name out of fear. So where's the part where she mentions evil?
That's in the comments underneath here.
Fuck it. Google evil lore.
Yeah. So, of course, we do technically have to treat this the same way as we would treat any of these things. This might be someone we don't like. This might be Schadenfreude. But, of course, if it's true, that means that this did happen to someone. And that also, well, we have to apply the same burden of proof at least.
Here's the thing, though. This guy's a male feminist, and male feminists are all about the listen and believe. So, out of respect for evil lore, I'm going to listen and believe this woman and assume that evil lore is guilty.
Oh, it's the best when it's hilarious. We've seen more and more of these types of things happen where these people are fingered for doing something, and because of their ideology, they have to be like, well, even if it didn't happen, they'd be like, well, I have to believe what you said because I need to listen and believe what women say about this stuff. So I must have done something at some point to have given off this impression.
But it's the.
Why are we laughing?
They either go into full like listen and believe mode and blame themselves even if they didn't do it, or they can take the other route and pull the Matt Myers defense, where they claim they couldn't have done it because they're actually a gay furry. All right.
Now, actually, I should probably
go ahead and just do your thing real quick.
Which thing?
The thing you have to do.
Oh, I wanted to bring up something real quick before I run through that.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find where I put the window because it's open, but there we are. And I just wanted you to see an example of what that forum is like when it's operating properly.
Oh God.
Of course, now that I've said that, I literally had an Imager window open, and I can't find it now.
We got Billy Fighter in the chat. That's awesome.
Here it is. Here it is. Now I just got to get this to actually fit on the screen. Oh, that's not readable.
Yeah.
How do we do this? Oh my. Okay. This is suboptimal. If I give you the link directly, will you be able to see it?
I'd be able to see it. I don't know what's going on.
Look at some of these choice posts. This is what they're normally like. Read the choice bits out loud.
Let's see. Tell your identity, your social security number, and be able to submit reports against other people that anyone can see, including family, friends, employees, and coworkers. Nobody's going to pull that crap with anonymity erased. People that engage in harassment will face fines and have their internet and gaming privileges suspended. Much like committing too many traffic violations can get your driver's license removed. Just as driving playing games is a privilege, not a right. Let's see. Somebody replies, maybe authoritarian was the wrong word. Maybe statist would be better. Conceded ever by the government to force cultural change, punish hate speech of all forms, mandate diversity in media, etc. Somebody with a Prince avatar adds can't help but agree on this. It's unfortunate, but hey, the First Amendment, just like the Second, is antiquated. Jesus Christ!
Yes.
These are revised for the new age, and we are and will be living in. The founding fathers did not have internet and a lot of things we have today. America is really one of the only developed countries that still clings to these particular ideas of freedom. I wouldn't use the word authoritarian, though. We just need to be proactive about combating these things. People are too afraid to nip things in the bud. This place sets a great example for a good environment without going too far in the deep end. It's not perfect, of course, but at least the admin is trying.
Nice.
What I would propose is something that literally anyone can do. I don't want another NRA. Skilled, qualified individuals who operate within the bounds of the law, in which nothing outright illegal or malicious is done to bring about justice. All I am literally proposing is that, if need be, the government simply list members of the Klan and other hate groups in a public profile list, as done with child sex offenders or terrorists. It's not an extreme concept. In fact, it's pretty cut and paste common sense at this point. Cool, racists don't deserve privacy, in all honesty. Don't fear hurting a racist's feelings. They have no feelings. They're subhuman. Wait, all right. Somebody says 80s action movies aren't terrible. In fact, they're the exact opposite of terrible. Predator, Commando, First Blood, Over the Top, Rocky, and the watchable. Somebody replies, in regards to masculinity, yeah, they're terrible. Stupid fun or whatever, but it's garbage in regards to what it means to be a man. I came with empathy and perspective involved non-white.
Oh, you've gone slightly mumbly again.
Oh, I did?
Yes, you did. You need a better projecting voice.
The problem was I'm trying to make my kid.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
So which one were you on?
The bottom one, which had nothing to do with the rest of the conversation.
But in regards to masculinity, yeah, they're terrible. Stupid fun or whatever. But it's garbage in regards to what it means to be a man. A human being with empathy, introspection, morals, non-white, etc. So wait, a man has to be non-white?
Apparently.
Well, apparently.
Is that Holy shit, I didn't even know that was in there. So these posts I hopefully give you an idea of what that site is normally like.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, and that's a typical conversation in NeoGAF. Like, no tears were shed when this place fell apart.
Well,
a lot of tears were shed, not by anyone that matters.
I have seen some things that you might find possibly teary, I guess.
Okay.
Hold on just a second. I think this will be. Oh boy.
Well, I'm already nearly crying with laughter, so.
I've got all these spread across two different things. So, let's see. Where is one of these wonderful posts? Oh, here's one that someone pulled up on Twitter. Let's see. Come on, get on here. Here you are.
So NeoGAF conspiracy theories are perfect blend of delusions of grandeur and paranoid something. Wouldn't surprise me if this was an organized attack on the GAF trying to shut the place down. Alt-righters hate the place because of its left-leaning liberal stances. Russians know how influential hateful gamer culture is to their cause. The GAF is a hindrance, so they could be involved. A lot of unused accounts appearing out of nowhere. Mod's personal details breached. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. So this is the alt-right and the Russians that did this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, those Russian hackers.
I know there was one where they were trying to blame Gamergate, Russia, and Trump all at once.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find that one. That was really funny.
And it's everyone else's fault. There's a picture here somewhere. There's this post that was going around, which is just sad and terrifying. It's got I think it's a furry.
It's the one with the furry?
Oh. Yeah, I'm just trying to find it. There's so many posts now.
I got one through Medicare, which, by the way, if you want a full version of this NeoGAF stuff, after you finish listening to our wonderful podcast, you should go check out Mr. Medicare on it, because he just laid it out really good.
Okay, let's see what this one is. I hope it's species spicy. That's the one.
That's the one? Good, okay.
That's the one. Yes. Hold on, let me Fuck you for destroying the one oasis in this cesspool that is the internet, and fuck you for your despicable actions. Thanks to you, I will probably be dead within a week. This website is one of the few things that keeps me sane in an insane world. My blood will be on your hands. I hope you're proud of yourself. I saw pictures of just this app going around with "My blood will be on your hands."
I mean,
It's
what more could be said?
That's amazing. It's like, suicidal furries blaming the admins for their bullshit. Oh my god.
It's basically full of posts like this. Since there's no moderator, some people are actually speaking their minds in some cases,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of it just gets deleted eventually.
Well, yeah.
There's also a whole bunch of people trying to say, ban me, ban me, ban me.
Yeah, the ban me threads, which doesn't work when there's no one there to actually ban you.
And usually the response is, there are no moderators left to ban you.
Mm-hmm. There's apparently an auto mod, which is what's getting some stuff. But
Holy shit.
I just love the response from Lotax. Did you see that one?
I didn't. I actually messaged him right before he made that response. I think it was the one where he was saying something like, our forums only have one sexual predator or something like
Here
that.
it is. Here it is. Something awful forums. We had that one child molester or whatever, but still better. But still better track record than NeoGAF.
Not quite much.
So I hear people suspecting that what's going to happen is they're all going to end up on the escapist forums.
Probably. You know what? Fuck the escapists. They deserve them.
Did you see what happened at the escapist?
They got paused a while ago, last month or so. They were post anti-Gamergate shit, if I'm not mistaken.
Their all their staff is gone. They're all community driven now.
Oh boy, yeah, escapist.
Boy.
Oh well.
Yep, the escapist is going to sink.
Yeah, they had a good run.
Yeah, that's a great place though for infiltration when everything's community driven and it's community moderators and everything only.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yep, and as you know, that SJWs always pick their own.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's gonna go to hell, but like I said, it was going to hell.
I love how many posts there are blaming the Russians.
Oh yeah, it's almost like Louis Mensch is in charge there.
Also, Gamergate. Gamergate did this. Everyone, just remember. Suspect Gamergate.
This big Gamergate, one of the biggest disasters in internet history. I wouldn't be surprised if it had ties with Trump. Keep going. Slide over.
Oh, sorry.
The Trump campaign or the Russian troll factor. The people are cheering for Jeb in our chat there.
It's falling apart. It's all falling apart, everyone. There's going to be nothing left. So has there been a statement yet?
From NeoGAF?
Yeah, I haven't seen one yet.
I haven't seen one.
My favorite part was the fact that this kept happening.
That's so good.
I heard. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that their Discord has disassociated with the forum.
Yeah, really? I heard that as well. Also, try to go to neogaf.com right now.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Why is it called? Oh, it's still doing it. Why is it called NeoGAF anyway? New gaff, new mistakes, new verbal fuck ups.
I actually
I'm getting the 503.
Yep, 503.
Yeah.
This is even worse than the database error they were getting earlier. Their forum was running those, the PHP was running, but the database was down earlier.
NeoGAF stands for, Neo Gaming Age Forums.
Ah, okay.
New gaming age, eh?
Yep.
Hmm.
And of course, their slogan is "Believe."
Of course it is. They did believe.
Believe the accuser.
Okay, I think believing is what got him into this mess in the first place. So.
This is amazing. How much he almost got? Like he turned down an offer to sell NeoGAF. Let's see, how much was that for?
I think it was set like 10 million.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. Well, good luck doing that again.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to see if I can find the actual article for that. Like,
Though I wouldn't be surprised if it does get sold off and new management just tries to say, "Oh, it's new management. Yeah, we got rid of the sexual harasser. Go on ahead, come back." Essentially,
Yeah.
what kind of NeoGAF owner turned down $10 million offer for the site? I doubt it was making that much money.
Yeah.
I don't think it's probably making any money.
Especially not now.
Yeah,
Holy shit. 10 million?
Yeah.
Wow. It sucks to be him. I don't know. I'd feel bad, but I really don't.
You'd feel bad, but it sounds like he is a horrible human being.
I wouldn't be surprised if he still gets a couple million for it, just on brand for the brand alone.
Yeah,
No, he won't get a 10 million offer.
He's a millionaire, apparently. Don't doubt it. It's got to make a lot of money because think about all the ads. It's like the site has a reputation for having people, insiders in the gaming industry, leak information on it. Of course, in reality, it's probably just PR departments making fake leaks. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, in the gaming industry, you're essentially disposable as a developer. People don't really understand that. That's why crunch time and all that stuff is as bad as it is. It's because if you don't do it, they'll replace you.
Yeah.
So no developer with any sort of sense would risk leaking information. So it's got to all be just PR people. And that's the only reason people even want to be on, well, it used to be the only reason people wanted to be on NeoGAF. Insider information, you get the information first, you know?
I see it. That's probably why Boogie was so upset when he lost his account.
Yep. Of course, over time, the site has gotten more and more crazy. As with everything in gaming, when Gamergate happened, it got pushed really far over the edge.
Yeah, I heard it had like a year-long process just to get an account.
Yep.
Yeah.
It takes over a year to get the account. Yeah.
In an instant.
Yeah, that's just insane, essentially.
I mean, God damn it, it's easier to get onto private BitTorrent trackers.
I'm looking at the chat here. There's a lot going on. Yeah. YouTube can't even sell for 10 million nowadays, Billy Fighter says. So as I used to visit NeoGAF for a big game release, they'd have nearly pin posts on the first page. Ads saying if you said anything bad about the game, you'd get banned on that thread. People hate the site not because they get banned, but for not going on. I mean, most people hate the site because they get banned for not going along with whatever paid agenda was going. I believe that.
Yeah, and of course, they extended that behavior with the bannings paid stuff onto politics.
Mm-hmm.
So if you posted anything that was right of Stalin, you get yourself banned. I wonder if I can pull up the I mentioned it before. Let's see, Encyclopedia Dramatica NeoGAF. That's probably going to be a fun page right now.
Oh yeah. Be careful.
Result 1, NeoGAF, Encyclopedia Dramatica. Result 2, Encyclopedia Dramatica is dead. Bet on NeoGAF from 2011. I think you've got it backwards there. Then again, that was 2011. Let's see. Is the wonderful banning here? Oh, yes, they've got the image gallery. Excellent. Of course, it doesn't want to load. Here we are. You have been banned for the following reason. If you think that GAF is a hive mind where people get banned for disagreeing, then you don't need to post here. Date the ban will be lifted. Never.
Never.
Well, that just sums it up, doesn't it?
This is the quintessential perfect. This just describes everything about NeoGAF right here. And people are trying to figure out alternative forums to go to, but they can't think of any because apparently every other forum on the internet is full of racists.
Well, that and basically every other forum hates NeoGAF.
Indeed.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty much going to have to go to Tumblr.
Yeah, it's basically a ton of refugees that no one wants. It's an internet refugee crisis. Oh God, who's going to be the internet Angela Merkel?
Escapist, probably.
No, that's internet Germany.
No. Well, we'll find out. Sure enough, I'm sure.
Oh dear, dear.
It's like a pest that's gonna, get busted for having groped some girl back in 1996 or something.
So yeah, NeoGAF is soon to be no more.
So there's something on the docket here that, well, this is something that actually wasn't on the docket, but I meant to bring up. And what is that? Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. God, I love those memes. God damn it. This is the best one I've seen too. I don't know where it came from. It might be made by this person. I don't know, but it's great. It's too good.
All right. So there's the Twitter link.
There's this. That's a way to put things.
Yeah, this wasn't on the docket, but I figure we should bring this up just so people can see it.
Okay, I'll pop back over.
Oh
yes, this thing.
We spent a lot of time working on this thing to no avail.
Yeah, what's weird about this, people think it's a commitment or something, but it's not the right length. This zeros right here are odd. And all of these, if you decode them as ASCII, every single one of these is a normal ASCII character. It's not even a special character of any kind. Like, I don't even think it's like letters. To the point where it actually is valid base 64. That's how constrained the different characters are in this. It's all valid base 64 characters when you convert it. And then this here is just, you do ASCII, it's gibberish, so clearly this is binary. So this is ASCII, this is binary, this is the null pad of some sort. If you drop the null pad, you get something of a more reasonable length. We have no idea what the fuck this is.
Yeah, like we spent like an hour or so on this the other night, got nowhere.
Oh, chat just mentioned the 4chan mod thing. I can just show you that real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hit the mute button fast enough.
It's most basic fucking rules talk about video games. NeoGAF scandal and/or bitching that social justice garbage is not video games. Threads posted about it will be deleted, and the posters will be warned or banned. If you want to talk about it, go to poll. If you want to stay on V, then talk about video games. Yeah, V is paused. Well, 4V is paused.
I actually have mixed feelings about this. Like, technically, if you run a forum with categories, you can just deem that that's the categorization. But this is where sites like 8chan shine, because if a forum doesn't want to cover a topic, a forum, like a board dedicated to that topic can be thrown together real quick, and people who are just in that can actually run that. So the problem with 4chan is that if it's not video games, it's only saying we have to talk about it on poll, and poll has all this baggage about what poll is, although it's obviously changed over time. So and that's assuming that you're even going to manage to talk about this on poll. Also, this is not about social justice. This is about the biggest gaming site gaming forum there is really falling apart. How is that not gaming related?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So
going
this
to
is the
red.
state of 4chan. Like I said, I don't necessarily disagree with the rationale behind this at first, like as stated, but it could be like in a site like 4chan where you have such strict limited set of forums, it would be better to just leave this content on V.
Yeah. You know, maybe NeoGAF could go to 8chan.
They could. Oh, they probably just go to Lefty Poll. They'll be right at home.
Yeah.
I still am astonished if I ever read Lefty Poll that people like that exist.
Yeah. I've looked at it once or twice. Yeah, that place is cancer.
It's not only cancer. It's fully metastasized. It's entered every organ. It's amazing. Luckily, it's completely isolated from the rest of the forum or of the site, I should say.
Yeah.
What's really fun though is to do a I think it's called Overboard or something. Whatever, the thing that lets you view multiple boards at once, and to put Lefty Poll and Poll on at the same time.
Oh God. That's got to be pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing 8V probably doesn't give a shit, and it's probably pretty cool about letting this go on.
Willie Ram is an excellent point. The way to solve this is a master thread.
Mm-hmm.
You make a thread, you pin it, or you don't have to pin it, but you should probably pin it so it doesn't get saged or whatever. And you say all posts on this topic must be in this thread. Everything else or any other topics will be deleted. Problem solved.
Yeah.
And that's actually something chans do a lot. That's very common. I see that all the time when major events happen, where it's like, okay, here's the topic for this shit.
Floating about the event on like a bunch of different threads. So yeah, that makes sense.
Now, of course, 4chan is expect another exodus of people to leave 4chan as usual.
Yeah, that's usually how that goes.
Maybe NeoGAF will go to 4chan.
You know, after something like this, it would serve them right. But I can't see NeoGAF surviving at 4chan.
How many people are on NeoGAF? Think of NeoGAF as containment. How many? Yeah. How many people are just flooding out onto the internet? How many petulant, childish crybabies are spewing out in search of a home?
Here's the thing with that, though. Like, either they all find a home and they all go there and infest it and fuck it up, or they disperse into a bunch of different homes and eventually just get drowned out. In each of those 7.
But it's cancerous. It could metastasize over time, and it could destroy additional communities that it rooted in.
It could.
I actually suspect that a lot of them will just drop out.
Probably. It's not like these people play video games anyway.
Yeah, oh man, my mind is dark. When I heard dropped out, I just pictured someone with a noose jumping off a balcony.
Was he a furry?
Oh God.
All right, so let's see what other topics we have. Let's see. Let's go with this Apple diversity one, because that seemed to be one you were really interested in.
Okay. Where did I put that bloody link? Got it here somewhere. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, everyone. This one's funny. This one's pretty... Well, I say funny. It's actually sad, I guess. So, Apple... Oh, let's see. What was her exact position, actually?
Diversity head?
Was it diversity? Vice President of Inclusion and Diversity.
Okay, she deserves everything she gets.
She went to let's see, where was this that this happened? There was a summit in Bogota, Colombia. It
Okay.
was let's see, One Young World Summit, where she had to say something about or she was talking to people, and she said something. Here's that transcript here, but here's, I guess, the important part.
I often told people a story. There can be 12 white, blue-eyed, blonde men in a room.
Oh, you went straight for the bold, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Okay,
did.
now, I'm going to start up here.
Oh, okay. Start up there. All right.
Amna, you also asked me about my work at Apple, or in particular, who do I focus on? I focus on everyone. Diversity is the human experience. I get a little bit frustrated when diversity is the term, or the term diversity is tagged to the people of color or the women or the LGBT or whatever, because that means they're carrying that around. Because that means we are carrying that around on our foreheads. So starts off with something that they might maybe agree with if you do it right.
Yeah.
And then we get to the bull part.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. And I've often told people a story. Oh, this is just sad, though. I've often told people a story. There can be 12 white, blue-eyed, blonde men in a room, and they are going to be diverse, too, because they are going to bring a different life experience and life perspective to the conversation. The issue is representation and mix, and bringing all the voices into the room that can contribute to the outcome of any situation. So I focus on everyone, but I also focus on allies and alliances, because to DeRay's point, yes, DeRay McKesson was at this, there's an incredible amount of power in those who have platforms or those who have the benefit of greater representation to tell the stories of those who do not.
Oh, man. Oh, that's beautiful.
You can tell it's amazing. It's both. It's like she's talking about diversity of ideas. She's actually talking about something reasonable, but then she still has to couch it and all that other stuff.
And yeah,
Even though she did,
they just went ape shit. Like they went full Triggerly Puff. Like they wanted to eat this woman alive.
it's like, you said something about white people? You said white people can be diverse? What?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm turning into Yoda. So yes, she had to write an official apology letter, which is this thing. Should we read this? Should we read this? Do you want to read this, Mumbles, or should I?
Let's see. Oh, I'll read it. Let's see. Colleagues, I've always been proud to work for Apple, in large part because of our steadfast commitment to creating an inclusive culture. We're also committed to having the most diverse workforce, and our work in this area has never been more important. In fact, I've dedicated my 20 years at Apple to fostering and promoting opportunity and access for women, people of color, the undeserved, and the unheard. Last week, while attempting a summit at Bogota, I made some comments as part of a conversation on many factors that contribute to diversity and inclusion. I regret the choice of words I used to make the point. I understand when some people took offense. My comments were not representative of how I think about diversity or how Apple sees it, for that matter. I'm sorry. More importantly, I want to assure you that Apple's view and our dedication to diversity has not changed. Understanding that diversity includes women, people of color, GLBTQP people, and all the underrepresented minorities. Is at the heart of the work to create an environment that is inclusive to everyone. Our commitment to Apple to increasing racial and gender diversity is strong as ever. I'm proud of the progress we made. There's much work to be done, and continually reminded the importance of talking about these issues and learning from each other. Best Denise. So did she get canned or resign or?
I don't think so.
It's like, oh shit, I fucked up.
Yeah, this letter is definitely trying to save her job.
It came out pretty quickly, apparently. So it's a question if she even wrote it or if she wanted to write it or what. But Oh, I love this too. The thrust of Smith's email is that she realizes the mistake in using this example and just how damaging it could be to the perception of Apple's diversity and inclusion work. Apple's overall numbers, 9% black, 12% Hispanic, 19% Asian, and 56% white are still poor. What if we break down that white into all the different subgroups of white people? Then what would happen? What if we broke down all these groups into subgroups? Then what would we see? Would we see a more even distribution? I'm going to bet possibly.
Big question.
Also, what if we compare it to the actual population?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for instance, Asians are definitely overrepresented. Whites are lower than what would be expected. So are Hispanics, by the way, but blacks are about where you'd expect.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
these
pretty
add
cool.
up to 100. 670,
I feel like it does.
82. No, they don't.
So yeah. Well,
It's 91, unless my
Yeah.
math's wrong.
you gotta count for other.
What is other? Is it the people who just made up their race?
Pretty much. Yeah. You know,
It's the aliens from outer space that they have working there under top secret. But because of the importance of gender of diversity, they had to be counted as other on the list. They couldn't just be ignored.
well, there's those. You know, there's the transracials, the other kin, the Pacific Islanders.
No, transracial, you just use the 3/5 compromise. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that was bad. Why would blacks work for Apple? I don't know. Maybe they work in the Black Apple division, the Blapple division. Do they make black apples? I mean, I know the Apple logo is only white. Oh, is that going to be the new problem? That it lights up white? They're going to have to start putting a black light version of the Apple logo?
You're probably not wrong.
What's hilarious is that this white nationalists say that diversity is code word for anti-white.
Yeah.
This doesn't prove them wrong.
Diversity is code word for anti-white, I'm pretty certain. I mean, they were talking about was the Black Panther movie coming out, and you know, it has like a 90% black cast, which I would expect considering, you know, it takes place in Africa or whatever. But then like these websites are talking about how diverse it is, and it's like 90% of, you know, one group is not by any means diverse. That's not what that means. You clearly don't know what the word diverse means.
So
Like,
wait,
you're only proving,
if I show them a kung fu movie, will they call it diverse?
probably.
Yeah, they probably would.
Yeah.
With not a single white or black or any other person in it other than just a bunch of Asians.
Yep, they'd probably call it diverse.
Yeah, I agree.
As long as it wasn't like if it was a mainstream kung fu film, yeah. Of course, if it was a mainstream kung fu film, they'd probably have white people in it. So.
Oh,
It's like, you know, I'm not necessarily going to say that, you know, the white nationalists are correct and they say, you know, diversity is just, you know, code word for anti-white. But the way a lot of the media uses it, they're not wrong.
no, they're not, and it's getting kind of it's getting a little concerning. I gotta say, it's when you have to go, oh, I think the white nationalists are right, then you might have to then say, oh, I guess the other extreme groups might be right too.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Wait, what? Bing told you were a racist, Lily Fighter?
who? Let's see. I googled Black Panther superhero racist earlier today. They told me I am racist. Wow.
Wait,
You're racist.
oh my god, I can see that happening though.
Mm.
Where it just out of the blue is like, I am sorry. It's like, you're racist. Or, no, it just gives you a list of like racist therapy places. That's how you know you're in trouble.
And if you're in the UK, it just informs the police.
Oh dear. I'm just gonna leave this here. There we are.
So since we're on the topic of white nationalists, so Richard Spencer had a speech in Florida.
Yes, he did. Oh my God. A speech that no one would have given the slightest shit about.
Mm.
But what did the Florida governor, was it the governor? Yeah.
Yeah, the governor called like a state of emergency over it.
Yeah.
Apparently Richard
Which-
Spencer is a hurricane. I wasn't aware that we gave hurricanes first and last names.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't like Richard Spencer. I really don't. The dude's a fucking clown. But Jesus Christ, like, and the media does like him. I mean, he's everything the media wants. I'm
Well,
not
he
entirely.
he
Go ahead.
essentially plays up to them.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's the white nationalist leader that the media wants there to be. Like, he's happy to fulfill that role.
Yeah, because he essentially makes them look foolish, and makes them look foolish in front of a camera.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a Fed. I'm kind of convinced he is.
There's all
Yeah.
sorts of really weird stuff going on with Richard Spencer and alt-right leaders and stuff. First, Richard Spencer's he's not remotely popular. Like, look at how many people actually go to see him versus how many people protest.
Yeah.
Like that's a bit sketchy.
Well, one of the things he did on his Discord was actually have people submit photos of themselves.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, for the vetting process.
Oh, I guess the idea was that no one who was going to be a problem would not submit a picture.
Yeah, but it's still very suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's incredibly suspicious. Like Richard Spencer, we remember he like somehow had a documentary or something being made about him, and then he did the Hail Trump thing or something, and then a whole ton of people raised their hands too, and the Roman salute, and that's what put him on the map. But he already had a film crew following him for a documentary type thing.
Yeah, he had something rally or something he was doing, and he said like Hail Trump, and then like I think it was like Mike Enoch and some other guy in Tila Tequila were like doing the Roman salutes, and
yeah, like the whole thing was heavily staged. Either A, he's a mastermind who figured out how to get himself to be in the limelight very easily, or B, there's other people involved. Well, actually, I guess there's always other people involved. The question is, are they knowingly involved?
Yeah, I'm leaning on B. Spencer doesn't strike me as very bright.
Yeah.
I better take this blob off. This is probably gonna.
Willie Ram says Richard Spencer is the nationalist equivalent of Ben Shapiro. You're not wrong. I don't know. Those two strike me both as pretty weaselly.
Yeah, not only that, remember the Unite the Right thing, where the guy who started it, who used to be a Democrat, claims he changed sides, but doesn't really cover why. Like, he said why, but it's not the focus of anything, and it's not. It doesn't actually make much sense on its own. Like, it's not a very big description. And if something caused you to change sides, to change the entire way you're thinking, to have this massive paradigm shift in how you do all of your thinking on the subject like politics, it's something as all-encompassing as that, that would be your focus of all of your talking.
Yeah.
And the guy who did the right thing barely mentions it. And then all that stuff happened at the rally at Charlottesville. Where I'm not even talking about the guy who drove the car, where that whole thing is weird too, but I'm talking about the police pushing them into Antifa, basically.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm certain that Kessler is definitely he's definitely a scumbag in that regard.
Like how many of these supposed alt-right people are as sketchy as these guys?
There's a few. There's Spencer, there's Kessler, there's the guy that slept his way into the inner echelons. There's probably some others. I don't know the alt-right too well anymore, so.
Yeah.
Well, they pretty much chased Vox Day out. Because, he was saying, like, hey, the Nazi flag's probably not a good idea, guys.
Oh,
So-
that, and also he's a
gab shit.
libertarian.
Yeah.
So he gave his little thing. A few people watched it, and then he left. That was it. There were a bunch of protesters, but I did see some pretty sketchy stuff going on. Tim Pool went there, and I saw a video that he did. And this guy is being heckled by the crowd and chased out of there, basically. And the media is getting in his way while he's trying to get out of there. He's being chased down the road, basically, at a brisk walking pace. And then all of a sudden, someone tries to steal the guy's wallet. You can actually see it happen on the video. And then the guy sticks his hand in his pocket to protect his wallet. And he's like, that guy just tried to steal my wallet. And there's a bunch of cops there. And the people in the crowd start saying, he has a weapon, he has a weapon.
Oh, jeez.
And then the cops and the cops are telling him to take his hand out of his pocket, and he's not taking his hand out of his pocket. Then again, if you look at him, he's incredibly confused. And then finally they grab him, they search him, and then they escort him out of there, calling him an idiot. But yeah, they tried to get just a random person who they viewed as who was probably either a white nationalist or maybe just someone who was there for free speech. I don't know, but the crowd basically tried to get someone killed by police.
Well, yeah, that's just the mob mentality.
It's insane. And it's like, oh. Also, whoever it was who tried to take that wallet was not very effective at taking the wallet, but was very effective at slinking back so far that by the time he turned around, he didn't see them.
Wow.
Like you can see in the video, I think it was the woman who just kind of reaches way up in there, and then all of a sudden, he reacts, and she jumps back, and she just disappears. You never see her again. And he's looking around, pointing at someone else who didn't do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a professional pickpocket.
Probably.
Probably, but why would you try to pick the pocket of someone everyone's focusing on?
Precisely because if he sees the cops there, that could very well be the reason.
Yeah, that happened. Apparently, there were also some Antifa accounts tweeting out that Tim Pool was a white nationalist supporter or something and trying to get him attacked. That's what we've got now here. We have these. Richard Spencer does an event that no one gives a shit about. Florida declares a state of emergency. A bunch of protesters show up, way more than actually go to the event. There's a good risk they're going to destroy stuff, so I guess that requires a state of emergency, maybe, but not Richard Spencer himself. No one would have cared otherwise. And then they just start randomly putting marks on people's heads they don't like via Twitter.
Well, we had this happen on the flip side of that, too.
Okay.
Wait, that wasn't the article. I don't think.
No, I'm just looking at the things that I missed that you pulled. Oh, there's another thing that happened apparently. Oh yeah, this one's interesting. Where these guys rolled up in a car, and one of the protesters basically did they attack the vehicle? Did they damage part of it, or did they just attack the vehicle?
Let's see. One person.
These guys were agitating, they were doing Hail Hitlers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then it looks like 6 people came and attacked the vehicle, and then.
And in response to their vehicle being attacked, these guys used a weapon, a handgun. Oh, this is interesting. This is more details than I thought. He's a convicted felon who showed off a handgun, so that's already retarded.
Yeah.
Exits the car with it.
The other two brothers are encouraging him to shoot at him.
Kill him, shoot at him. Yeah, what do they think? They're not going to get pinned for anything? He fired a shot, but he missed. But he fired a shot. He's a felon in possession of a firearm who attempted to kill someone. And of course, this is now indicative of automatically anyone who would want Richard Spencer to speak. Of course. Thanks, media.
Disappointing in the course of things, it appears that the only answer the left want is violence, and nobody wants that. The only answer left is violence, and nobody wants that. That's from the shooter.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. But it's been socially acceptable to punch a Nazi, to attack people if they have right-wing political leanings. Us coming in and saying we're taking over your town, we're starting to push back, we're starting to want to intimidate back. Want to show our teeth a little bit because, we're not going to be taken lightly. We don't want violence, we don't want harm, but at the end of the day, we're not opposed to defending ourselves. These people deserve each other.
Admittedly, there are people on the right who want the left to be violent because it justifies them being violent in return.
Violent, yeah.
This is Weimar, Germany. It's actually cooled down a bit. It was really bad with Berkeley and everything, but it's cooled down a bit. But it still could turn at any time. We could suddenly have a police state and trying to get rid of these people. But the government's been very careful. They didn't declare Antifa a terrorist group. They declared their actions terroristic, which gets around the problem of there's Antifa claims to have no organization. It's kind of ironic because having organization is kind of antithetical to what they claim to be to begin with, and yet they seem to have leadership. That they claim to have no organization, they claim to not have a leadership, and yet they have a uniform. They have a standard. They all communicate via a set few number of resources on the internet.
As far as I can gather, Antifa actually operates similar to like how Gamergate was. So they don't have any official leaders, but there's definitely like alpha dogs on the pack that other people will like flock to. That makes sense.
It would be nice if Antifa does have groups that have leaders explicitly. Gamergate never really did that, which it actually would have made sense if some smaller groups had explicit leaders, honestly. Yeah, I mean, sure, we have. Oh, I don't know about everyone else here, but I have plenty of ammo. But I prefer not to be shooting people.
I actually do have a gun now.
Oh, it's like the general idea is never. It's like if you have a firearm and you're going to tell someone where it is, either A, lie, or B, have another one somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, I don't plan on divulging more than that. But this household is officially an armed household now.
My mother has a judge.
Your mother has a judge.
Yes. It's a handgun. It's a revolver that fires shotgun rounds and bullets. So you put birdshot and normal bullets alternating in it, and it becomes quite effective.
I bet.
That's a weird bug. Randomly, my avatar gets polio. I will have to figure that out. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen with this stuff. I thought it was calming down a little bit, and now we've got Richard Spencer apparently has a hurricane that causes a state of emergency.
I think it is calming down a bit, honestly. Like, it seems like it's not, but there's less and less people involved. I mean, the people are getting more extreme, but there's less of them.
As soon as Antifa's actions became terroristic, I think there was a drop-off, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think so.
That helped significantly. But, well, that only works for so long, though. People are going to become re-radicalized. We're going to realize, they're going to decide they're not at risk of being arrested or something. Remember, the whole media is basically, well, actually, no. I was going to say the media is egging this on, but it's changing. Some of the media isn't because they started getting attacked physically. Do you think we're actually at the light at the end of the tunnel, or do you think it's just going to slide back into civil war at some point?
I think things are looking up. I do actually think that a civil war is probably inevitable, but I would like to stave that off as long as possible.
Yeah, I think. Well, in my opinion, I really think that an economic collapse is going to happen eventually.
Yeah, that's probably more likely, to be honest.
And I think if there is anything that sparks off a civil war, it's probably an economic collapse.
Economic collapse will be quite different than it was in the past because of the government insurance of bank savings. It will mean that instead of the situation of the Great Depression where you couldn't get your money, we'll have a situation where you can get your money, but as a result, mass inflation suddenly occurs because
Yeah.
everyone's guaranteed to get their money. So then the value of the money is going to hit the shitter. Whereas in the Great Depression, if you happen to have your money on you, like you got your money, like maybe you were one of the first people to get all your money out of the bank before everyone else ran on the bank, you were really well off because the money itself didn't lose crazy amounts of value. It was that no one had access to any.
Willie Ram brings up a good point too. Winter's coming. Like it's we're getting into the cold season, and most conflicts simmer down with the cold.
And the southern states don't take the shit with masks.
Yeah.
I know that about my state, where you try to go around with a mask on any day other than Halloween. Good luck. There's probably a special exception with times for Halloween, but I don't know. I don't trick or treat. I'm too old for that shit.
I'm trick or treating this year with my kid.
I'm also rural. If I trick or treat, I'm looking to get shot.
Oh yeah. Not to mention that you'll have to walk like a mile and a half to get to the first house.
It's not that bad, but it's not great.
So we got this happy news.
Happy?
This is a mixed blessing. I'll explain why. You can. We don't need that.
Yeah, how is this a mixed blessing? Because anything George Soros puts money into, I think, what's he done now?
Okay, that's a lot of money he's putting into that. 18 billion. That's 3/4 of his wealth.
Of his wealth.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Of his total wealth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an indication that he's preparing to die.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think his I don't think the blood transfusions are going to keep working.
Yeah. Sacrificing the children to his altar out of Moloch. Yeah, I don't think that's going for him too well anymore. But yeah, so this is the thing. Apparently what is like the Open Society or some kind of open borders charity or something.
Oh, great. Fucking
Yeah.
wonderful. So he gives all of his money to an organization that will continue his dream of destroying every border there is.
Oh yeah.
I
The Open
remember.
Society Foundation.
There was I just keep thinking back to games I've played where there was a freaking terrorist organization called a World Without Borders.
That's pretty
or
much
boundaries or something like that.
That's pretty much what I think this is. Let's see, Open Society Foundations.
Their goal in the game, by the way, was to use nukes to destroy every government.
Oh, of course it was.
Well, in this case, George Soros just uses refugees. Far more effective than any nuke.
Okay, yeah, About Us, right here. Open Society Foundations. Come on. All right, let's see. About Us, mission and values. Work to build vibrant and tolerant societies whose governments are accountable and open to the participation of all people. Because we want all people in charge of our government. Yay. So, yeah, like I said, this is a mixed blessing. Because, I mean, on one hand, yeah, that money is going to go into a whole lot of bad. But on the other hand, this
I'm
dude
concerned. I don't see the blessing in this. I think that this is the starting of the machine. This is the machination. This is the post-death plan. This is the I will not. It's like I will die, and yet I will live on in my agenda.
For me, this feels kind of like the last-ditch effort to push through whatever evil dreams he has.
I think with
the money.
I think with Soros, he's I just think it'll be less effective without him. So
He's
think
the
making,
money will still be there, but
Yeah,
he's
exactly. It's like
he's
with him
making-
gone, I don't think the money will go as far or cause as much damage.
This is his attempt at immortality. Not as a person, but as a set of ideas.
Yeah,
I do not view this in any way positively in any aspect.
I like William's take on it here. But I expect after that, the Open Society will lose focus and eventually become a cushy embezzlement racket.
Just think of the name, Open Society Foundation. Oh my, foundations. How many are there?
I just, without Soros like living at the helm, I feel like the money's not going to be near as well put to use.
I have a feeling that this money will be used in the destabilizing of various governments.
Well, yeah, it probably will. Like, I'm not denying that, but what I'm saying is if Soros alive, he would be doing that anyway.
Oh my. This could be a situation like you get with the Illuminati in fiction.
Mm.
This could be his like, let's say he was a one-man mission to do something. He spent all this money on it, but now he's going to die. Or he's going to die sometime soonish, maybe the next 10 years. Knowing him, he'll keep going. So he's going to put into play something which will keep him alive in ideology, in spirit, in practice, and he will. This organization will go on without him, with all that money. Didn't he already? Wasn't he already connected to this organization too?
Probably.
Yeah, I think this was his thing.
This streams a
Was this one of his? There's so
yeah,
many.
this is his big charitable organization.
Yeah, yeah. There it is, right there. George Soros, founder and chairman. That picture looks a lot better than most of the other pictures you get of the guy. Look at that. That's like.
Well, that's
from the side, not so much.
Yeah.
From the front, though, he looks human.
I'll be. Dude makes my skin crawl. Like,
I find this really creepy. It does create an attack surface, something that can be infiltrated, something where people can get in there and they can try to redirect it. They can prevent the probably world damaging plans under the guise of helping others. They can probably help prevent that or reduce the effectiveness of that. It creates a wider attack surface, but it also creates something which can work much faster than he ever could on his own with that much money in it.
maybe.
I mean, seeing as he founded it, I'm sure it's staffed like almost entirely by people who agree with him strongly.
Well, yeah, but that sort of thing can still get co-opted. I don't know. I see this as kind of a blessing because he'd be doing the same shit if he was alive with that money that these people are going to be doing in his death with that money. So, it's. I guess it was a bad situation anyway, so this isn't really any worse than it would be. It's just kind of a sign, like, yeah, the old man's finally going to keel over.
That, and the simple fact is, people aren't as diligent with money that they don't see as theirs.
That is true. That's very true. So
I don't know. I'm not as positive towards this. I have my concerns.
It's a better thing than what we had before. I don't want to be like, yay, he's donating his money to the Open Society. That's not where I'm going with it. We're like, yay, the old man's finally kicking the bucket.
I think this is the conversion of one tentacle into a great many.
Let's see.
This organization is probably okay. Here's where things get sketchy.
Remember the iron rule of bureaucracy. Without guidance, organization starts being self-sustaining instead of mission oriented. That's true.
That's true. Okay, so then this organization will sustain itself. What if being the person who founded and heads this organization, he has successors who believe
That's
strongly in
possible.
everything he believes in, and thus would have the same control over it as he would. Then consider that by moving the money to the organization, he's freeing up any of the possible financial issues that could happen with his death. Because transferring money, like the estate tax and everything, that thing's a doozy. But if he transfers it to this charity, hell, it's even a write-off up to a certain amount. Although I don't think that amounts.
Yeah.
So this could be a move to ensure the financial integrity of his plans into the future.
I don't see this.
I'm sorry, I'm not so positive about this.
It's all right.
I just see machinations, and I don't like it.
I think I'm kind of seeing it the way I'm seeing it. I'm seeing bureaucracy that's just going to squander this money and not use it to the level that it could otherwise be utilized under Soros's leadership.
I think the big question is just how much does George Soros's children actually care about his legacy?
There is that. I don't know if the old
Very
guy.
much, to my understanding.
I mean, I assume he
Yeah.
does.
He has 5 children. So.
He has 5 children? Okay.
I only ever have seen the one, and he doesn't appear to be.
Yeah, I think most of them seem to be on board with the old man. So.
No. You get
So
5 little death knights. Fuck you.
Even then, if he wants the money used for a certain thing, donating it to the charities, use it for that, and then putting even his own next of kin in a position of power in the organization would be a more effective use of money than to transfer it personally upon his death or under any other circumstances.
I'm surprised he's not transferring more of that to his kids. But I guess then it wouldn't be completing his vision, then wouldn't it?
I don't know. I just see this as the execution of a not contingency. What's the word for going on to the future?
A legacy?
What?
No, that's the other direction.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I see it as that. This is his continuation. This is his
legacy.
His legacy.
There
Yeah.
you are. And it's gonna stand for the same thing he does. It would require internal degradation for it to lose purpose. And honestly, even if it loses purpose, you have an organization full of people who know that they have in the past had the power to destroy nations in some cases, because that's what George Soros has done in the past. Just caring about sustaining itself. What will it do to sustain itself? I'm far less positive in any aspect of this.
Nick's taking the black pill in this news.
I just see various dystopian outcomes.
Let's see what else we got.
If private industries gain access to nuclear weapons, expect these guys to have them. Oh my! I should go build a Faraday cage.
Okay, this one's your article, Nick. So we'll do this one next.
Yes. Everyone,
Exciting.
are you ready for it?
Oh,
Are
boy.
you ready for this? Everybody?
Judge
Are we
Facebook
ready?
Times readers face libel suits for sharing fake news.
We're all fucked.
Okay, what's going on here?
Now, luckily, it's probably not going to pass because it's absolutely absurd. But, which politician was it that was pushing this? I know it's being pushed by a politician, but the short of it is that, well, when you are on Facebook or whatever, and it tells you that this news story is false, it's fake, it's a hoax because Snopes said so, and you click that share button, it should also then warn you and ask if you want to continue and tell you that you could be liable for slander
Oh boy.
and such. And they want to open up the laws to allow for that, to make the sharing of information which has been deemed and marked as fake news can put you into the hole financially and maybe even in prison.
Oh boy. Well, that's gonna be really rough for CNN because all that Russia shit's gonna.
Why? They get to decide what's true.
Oh.
They get to decide that the stuff being put on Drudge that just links to their own pages with different headlines, spinning the article expertly without even changing the content, they get to decide that that is fake news.
That doesn't even make sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I believe you. It's just it's leftist for you.
Now, luckily, this is an affront to anything that we would call our civil liberties here in America. So I don't see it getting through.
Probably
I'd love
not.
to see who it was who's
Yeah.
watching this.
Even if it did get through, it'd probably be shot down in the court system.
Yeah, this couldn't stand. Like this couldn't
Yeah,
hold up.
even the most liberal judges couldn't justify this.
Let's see. Ravel, who now lectures at Berkeley Law, still has allies on the FEC who support internet regulation. The paper was co-written by Abby K. Wood, an associate professor at the University of Southern California, who's surprised, and Irene Dykeny? Okay. A student at USC Gold School of Law. And that paper is fully once the case for government regulation of fake news.
Oh my gosh.
This is a paper by college professors and such. And I know this is a set of recommendations. And I wish I could remember which the politician is, but there's a politician somewhere tied to this. Americans should not be required to sign a national registry every time they post a political video on YouTube.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I agree with that, because if this stuff became law, you would have to.
Yeah.
Any proposal built on intimidating Americans from sharing.
CNN is fake news, so therefore, I mean, it should withstand that any CNN post could be regarded in such a way.
Any proposal built on intimidating Americans from sharing news stories on social media is headed in the wrong direction. Thank you, Andrew Woodson, elections lawyer. I accidentally hit the tweet button. Yeah. The proposal immediately came under fire for the Republican FEC commissioner. Yep. So that means the proposal made it to the Republican FEC commissioner. That's concerning, isn't it?
Yeah. This is insane. I don't expect you to go much more beyond that.
In their proposal, after a social media user clicks share on a disputed item, if the platforms do not remove them and only label them as disputed, government can require that the user be reminded of the definition of libel against a public figure. Libel of public figures requires actual malice, defined as knowledge of falsely or recklessly disregard for the truth. Or reckless disregard for the truth. Sharing an item that has been flagged as untrue might trigger liability under libel laws. I think I said slander earlier. I meant libel.
Yeah.
Because slander is spoken. Although I guess YouTube videos would be slander. Wait, how does that work? If it's in a video, is it slander or is it still libel? If it's in the subtitles...
It's slander.
It's slander in the video.
What if it's in the subtitles?
I guess that would be libel.
Like, how does this work? There's got to be... Is it libel and land? If I say it and then someone subtitles my video, am I in trouble for slander? But then the person who subtitled it in trouble for libel? Or am I in trouble for libel even though someone else wrote the subtitles?
I have no clue.
These are the questions. mean, remember, we're in a day and age where if you take a URL and you change the number in it from a 5 to a 6, and you get something which you're not supposed to be able to get, you are now guilty of hacking and a federal crime. By the way, that's true. So this bodes great, doesn't it? I had to see what if it was a politician or if it was just that it was connected to the FEC. It was probably because the person who one of the people who wrote it has connections.
Yeah, it's
Federal Electronic Commission.
Yeah,
it's actually
anyway.
the person pushing it's an ex-chairman or chairwoman.
Oh, of course they are.
And Ravel.
And yeah, and the only reason this is not getting traction is because it's currently Republicans in power. Think about that.
Well, actually, the big thing with the FEC is it usually is, I think it's usually a 6-member board split right down the middle as far as party affiliation.
Yeah, but the current commissioner is at least a Republican, and a Republican who at least believes in the basics. I don't understand why the left is pushing for all this crazy censorious stuff while the right is technically in power.
Well, I don't know. I'm guessing it's just momentum from before.
I mean, we know the neocons and pretty much the entire political left are basically the same at this point.
Yeah.
The only groups I can think of that are unique there's a few Republicans that are actually conservative, and there's like this huge voting populace on the left that has honestly no true representation. I feel like the left that actually is in power in this country is probably almost completely gone, and most of the right is, but not all of it.
Yeah.
Ugh. So yeah, this was actually seriously put forth. Just think of this, and what marks stuff as false, but it's like, remember, YouTube started removing or otherwise suppressing stuff about the possibility of a second shooter at the Las Vegas event, and now even the media is reporting that it's possible.
Yeah,
and thus
there's a lot.
All that fake news isn't fake news anymore.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't know exactly what's going on with Vegas. What I do know is that the official story they're giving us is not the right story. Like, there's so much weird shit going on with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got that one epileptic girl that just happened to die shortly after. I don't know if you knew about that or not.
This will happen. I heard about that. This will happen one day. I'm sure of it. They will push this through, and it will be very hard to pull it back because remember, we have more and more and more activist judges. The Supreme Court, it shouldn't matter if the judges on it are right or left. They should rule the same on the basics. It's the Constitution. It has one original interpretation. And yet, what do we have? What have we had in this country for decades? For over a century, what have we had? We've had people ruling from the bench. So I don't see, if this gets put in with the right people in power and the right people on the bench, this will not be knocked down. And then they can use that. They would be able to use something like this to suppress the ability of anyone to get information out there that is deemed as not true. To you basically never lose power again because not enough people would ever know the truth about something.
Well, I suspect what would actually happen is if the worst did happen, is basically underground presses.
Oh, of course, which will work on the internet, of course. But I have to point out that things like onion routing can be poisoned. You might think Tor is safe, but if enough of the nodes are under control of the same system, they can find you.
Yeah.
That's why Tor is not very effective in China. It works sometimes, but you gotta give it a long time to build up a lot of layers.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, a little interesting thing about the current makeup of the FEC is that each commissioner, there's 5 commissioners currently,
Five.
and each of them, yep, there's usually 6, but each of them, their term has expired and are just serving until replaced.
Huh.
And the only Democrat on it, her term expired in 2007.
Oh my gosh.
So she's been serving over 10 years. You know,
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, in other words, the right political party gains power. They can just wipe everyone off of there, put their
Well,
own cronies in.
Actually, a key thing is you have to have 4 votes to actually get anything through the FEC. And one political party can only have 3 members of its party on the board.
Mm. Okay.
Oh, come on. Like 3 Democrats and 1 neocon, and you're good to go.
Yeah, true.
Oh, God. Oh, my. Just another thing. And remember, this is written up by a former, is it a former member
Yep.
of that board? Yep. Former member of that board writes this up. Says that that we should be opening up people who spread fake news, especially when it's labeled as fake on social media. They should be reprimanded for that. They should be open to libel suits. Oh dear.
Oh, here's another interesting thing. From 2008 to August 2014, the FEC has had over 200 tie votes, counting for approximately 14% of all votes in enforcement matters. So, essentially, tied votes have been fairly common.
I'm kind of okay with that. Nothing's getting done that's not really a bad thing to me.
Trump. Congress should skip Thanksgiving if they can't get tax reform done in time. Unfortunately, they probably won't. They'll probably just go home. They'll be like, screw you.
All right, so we got our next article here. This is actually one Coyote Khan brought up. So go ahead and drop it.
Get ready for the Rees. Rees.
Oh, not that one. That one.
Oh, drop me a different one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I dropped one after that.
This is, I'm sure everyone will find this one perfectly acceptable. What even is Metro?
Oh, London. Here's the UK's a mess, man.
What was this other one you linked me to? What was
That was the epileptic girl that died after the Vegas shooting.
Oh, what did she die of? I never did hear what she died of.
For epilepsy.
What?
Supposedly.
Was she known to have epilepsy?
Yeah, I think so.
Epilepsy normally doesn't just outright kill you. It normally causes you to fall and hit your head, which kills you, or to crash the vehicle, which kills you.
All I'm saying, she was at the shooting. She was saying that the stuff that they're reporting on the shooting wasn't actually how it went down. She suggested there's multiple shooters, and now she's dead.
Oh dear. Possibly dead of epilepsy. That's incredibly rare. Like, you don't die of epilepsy. You die of something that happens because of epilepsy normally. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, your heart can have a seizure. I know that someone died. I wasn't sure if it was of epilepsy, but that would make sense.
Yeah, there's some complications caused by epilepsy.
Where's a link in this story that actually is a citation? I know you didn't even intend for me to really look at this that hard.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm sure this one's real, Billy Fighter. There's several reports of this.
Well, they still have Discuss. I wonder how long until that gets removed. It got removed from Russia's site.
Yeah.
InfoWars has Discuss still.
Huh.
They got pulled from Russia's site. It's funny, on his site, apparently it says how many comments there are, but you can't read any of them. Okay, to what you intended to go to.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
an interesting march. What are they holding their fist out for?
I'll let Coyote Khan take the reins here because he knows what's going on here more than I do. But
Okay, basically, each year in the UK they have parades on Remembrance Day, which Veterans Day for us Americans.
okay,
I mean, I'm of course half American, half English, so
yeah.
um, but basically, the police are saying they don't have enough money and manpower to support the parades as far as, keeping people in line and stuff. So they're saying, oh, we're going to have to cancel the parades, which are meant to be for the war dead.
Right.
So, yeah, it's pretty disgusting, especially whenever you realize what they've been spending money, their money on.
Which I'm posting those links next. You want to go ahead and
Oh boy, this is going to be good, isn't it? Okay, here it is. What is it? What?
yeah, this is what the police have been doing instead of their jobs.
What?
And this one, there's this one too.
I heard something recently about some officers being forced to wear high heels, and then they actually criminals got away because they couldn't chase them. I remember this vehicle from like over a year ago. We mentioned this.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of those now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Do the sirens go make normal noises? Or do they just go like fabulous, fabulous? How does this work?
Yeah, I like that. I'm gay. This is embarrassing. You can afford to do this. You obviously you obviously don't need the. You obviously need to make budget cuts. Yeah.
What is?
But yeah, but they can't afford a veterans march because they're spending their money on fucking pride cards instead.
Yep, and also looking for people on Twitter that say mean things.
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of that. Like I always comment on those too because I know as an American they can't do dick to me. But
this. So what was that thing I heard about high heels not being able to? I wonder if that was UK. I'm curious now. High heels, cops not able to catch criminals. Let's see if I find anything.
Well, I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was the Army ROTC command forced all their cadets to wear high heels.
oh
Yeah,
my
in
God.
March, a mile in her
Yeah.
shoes or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the son talking about the high heel cops. Why are you smiling, you idiot? Oh God.
Let me see if I can find it. I got another thing I want to post here. This is some the same vein. Jesus Christ. Click the Twitter link there. It's safe. Well,
Okay.
maybe not safe for your sanity, but it's safer.
Safe for the stream. Oh, it'll probably demonetize.
Serpico, you reminded me, shit.
Hateful comments will not be tolerated. Repeat offenders will be blocked. Any hate crimes reported will be taken serious. Hate crimes. Hate crimes on Twitter.
I had to leave my little snark. Shit. Oh, shit. Hold on.
Hate crimes Twitter.
All right. Now that we've done picked on Coyote Khan's homeland a bit, time to pick on Willie Ram's homeland here.
Oh no. Oh no.
Sorry, Ram, I love you, but this has to be pointed out.
Oh, we're fucked. We're all screwed.
Serpico state enforced homosexuality when, and so I had to make note of this.
Break apart marriage from parenthood and childbirth. We'll discover the best solution is to replace straight marriage with gay marriage.
Good luck with that.
So what does this mean? When someone has a kid, then the army just comes in, or the police come in, take the kid, and run off with it?
And give it to a gay couple, apparently.
Fabulous.
Well, I think what they're actually trying to push is the state actually raising your children. I mean, absolutely.
Yes, because that won't lead to all sorts of issues, including them always voting back in their parents and having all the same ideas constantly, never-endingly. Oh my God. In an ideal egalitarian society, men will fraternize with men and women with women. And what about children? The person who takes responsibility for the child, and someone must take responsibility for the child, needs to be obligated for certain criteria that the state should actually decide on. The state? No. What do you mean the state? I misread this. Okay. The state? No. What do you mean the state? It's us coming together in a democracy. We all decide what it means to be a good parent. So in other words, the people vote on what a parent has to do, and then the people who get the children as wards have to follow what the democratic group of people said they have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to have a kid, you must fit this rubric that was democratically decided.
Yeah, it's insane.
So, like, does that mean that sex is illegal, or just straight sex is illegal? How does this work? Or are they just thinking that it'll happen automatically? How are they calling this egalitarian? It's not egalitarian. It's actually segregated if you think about it.
William says Burgav is a feminazi cook and Hearts is left of the New York Times. Okay. I believe that.
Oh, here's a good line. Oh, that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've lost it completely.
Yeah.
No, I'd forgotten about this article until Serpico brought up the state enforced homosexuality, and then it's like, yep, that's
the biological advantage of heterosexuals, namely their ability to reproduce, will be considered a violation of the equality principle of homosexuals.
God.
So heterosexuals are violating the rights of homosexuals because they can reproduce, and the homosexuals can't.
Yeah.
After all, how will the state be able to determine
communism here? This is unreal.
How will the state be able to determine whether men or women meet the required standards of becoming parents as long as they are free to become pregnant without license?
I hate everything.
What? Oh dear.
So I'm thinking that this probably isn't going to go anywhere. The cooler heads are going to prevail, and Israel isn't quite so leftistly as to take this with any modicum of seriousness.
This is acceptable to publish. Acceptable to publish. Think about that. I don't care how left-leaning this paper is. It's acceptable to publish. Why are we going to get McNuked?
To be honest, shit like this is being published. Maybe we deserve to get McNuked.
Why would we get McNuked? What country is that nuking us?
I think it's Germany.
Are we sure that's not everyone else nuking Germany?
Oh, that's a literal nuking. Yeah, that could be everyone else nuking Germany.
I like how that one's has a plane icon on it. Like this was, I think this might have been rendered by messing with a flight planner.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Nuking.
The world is invited. Oh my God. Grand McDonald's opening, Frankfurt Airport Terminal 2.
Oh, that's what
The
that
world is invited, March 30th. Oh,
so
okay.
The legitimate flight plan thing and not an McNuking.
But why? What is the why? Okay, back to Hearts. How do they get this published? Is this like the salon of
According to Wooly
Israel?
Ram, that seems to be so. He said it's leftist brain cancer. So I'm going to assume that that's probably true based on this article, and yeah, the Hertz is probably just Israeli salon.
Trending now, analysis. Far-right extremists have lorded Israel as an ethno-state model for some time. Yes, actually they have. But of course, I'm sure that this is somehow not actually valid, right?
Is this still Hertz? Or is this?
Yeah, this is still Hertz. This is still Hertz. This is still really oddly pronounced Hertz.
Letters. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. But are they going to say it's true though?
The ethno state, Israel and Japan are the two that they prominently bring out.
How Mein Kampf nicht Jihad, how neo-Nazis are copying the ISIS terror playbook. Oh, what? They're suicide bombing now. Or are we going to hear about how the next ISIS truck attack was a copycat of Charlottesville? Because that already happened once.
Yeah, I think that's where they were going with it. It's like, the Virgin Muslim truck versus the Chad plow.
I get off this site before I have a stroke.
Yeah. Well, since we're
I'm back on this, I'm still going to have a stroke.
Since we're in the topic of state-enforced homosexuality, I have another topic relating to that I want to bring up, and this is mine.
Why?
This is near and dear to my anger.
Why?
Right here.
Oh, that's the same one. Oh, there it is. Why?
No, not that one.
Not
this
that
one. No, this is the one.
This is the one. Okay. Oh my! You better give an intro to this one.
Okay, so for those of you not familiar, this is this 4chan or 8chan? I don't know. It's one of the chan.
It's 8chan.
This is 8chan. Okay, this is the 8chan TG forum. TG is for tabletop gaming. This is specifically the game Paranoia. The Paranoia probably needs an explanation. It's kind of it's a tabletop game where you play as a bunch of in the future, it's a bunch of androgynous clones in this big communistic society called Alpha Complex, which is run by this malevolent computer called Friend Computer that runs this communist society while at the same time trying to root out all communists because it believes communists to be the greatest threat to Alpha Complex, not really understanding exactly what a communist is. And so it's this dystopian nightmare that you play in, and there are a lot of backstabbing and treachery and stuff goes on, and it's generally a good time overall. Now the thing is here, in the game, there's hormone suppressants that give the clones because the clones are all decanted from tubes rather than actual breeding going on. So, and it even says that right here, thanks to hormone suppressants, extensive cloning facilities, the whole real-time pixelation of genitals is a new addition in this version. Genetically modified bodies and mind, gender isn't as big a concern. which means, yeah, and then they say, women, men, cisgender, transgender, non-binary, intersex people are all equally capable of serving the computer. If, gender isn't a concern, then these things aren't issues. Like,
Then why does it say play as whatever gender you want if there isn't really a if it doesn't mean anything? Why would you do it? I don't understand.
exactly. There's no purpose to it here.
This seems like a useless piece of information.
Exactly.
Well,
and then
But sexuality is different because don't worry, there's no way to tell what sex anyone is because it doesn't actually it isn't a thing. But sexuality is still here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, keep reading on. This gets better.
No, you keep reading on. I'm not saying these words.
Okay. So sexuality is a different concern. Heterosexual sex is treasonous as it makes a mockery of computers' extensive cloning facilities. Now that's true in the original game as well. Sex is considered treasonous because they don't want you breeding. However, the computer has no official stance on homosexual activity due to the lack of programming on the matter, and it treats it as a form of enthusiastic wrestling that is inadvisable when traders may be nearby. So essentially, not.
What? I need to put something back, and I need to put something back on my overlay.
This again. There's the whole thing of the hormonal suppressants where sex isn't a thing, really. Like, there's a couple secret societies in Paranoia, most notably the Humanists, but I think the Romantics have it too, where they actually have, like, quote, marital arts, which is like a seduction skill, where they actually learn to, go against the hormonal suppressants in an effort to try to breed, because, they're the pro-human groups.
Marital arts. It's like martial arts, only a lot.
Yes.
I can't finish that sentence.
Yeah, that's the joke they ran with on it too. But yeah, so they have that, but that's but that's like a thing only specific to those groups. And yeah, this just and then this is the part where we say don't be nice to the other players on a game where backstabbing and treachery is the whole point of the game.
It's 2016.
Yes.
It's 2016. It actually, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's 2016. We are done with that.
Yep, current year. So that's
my lungs are gonna break.
That's like and it says here we all talk big about how great and terrible bastards we are, but at the end of the day we're still playing with our friends. It's like, well, yeah, that's the point. It's you backstab your friends. It's fun. Be respectful. Yeah, this is the part where they tell you to
do your best not to offend anybody. What about the other non-bodies that are in their head? Huh? Can I offend them? They don't have body.
The worst part about this too is all your social justice issues don't exist in Paranoia because because of the rules of the cloning and stuff, there's no different races. Everybody's just kind of this ugly color of brown. And there's no
so they're ugly brown now.
Well, it's kind of an olive brown, yeah. Yeah, everybody looks the same. Everybody's brown, dark haired, and really ugly looking.
Italian? Oh, okay. Hold on, just one more.
I don't care about offending people. This is Paranoia. If you don't care about offending people, you're a dick. And the only people that that like you are dicks like you. We don't want to play with games with you. And you leave the room, decent people are like, can you believe that person? They don't like you. Try being a better person, maybe. No, I'm okay with.
God. Look at how passive aggressive these instructions are too.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's 2016. It's 2016. It's 2016. Holy shit! It's not. It's 2017. Your instructions are out of date.
Paranoia Current Year Edition. Yeah.
Also, apparently the communists are now terrorists.
Yeah, that bothers me too for a completely different reason. Aside from the fact that, it's clearly because there's communists writing this game. But, like, that kind of destroys the whole irony of the fact that you're in a communist society trying to hunt communists.
Yeah. Basically, the writers didn't actually understand what paranoia is.
Mm-hmm. It's a great game, and I advise everybody that enjoys tabletop games to play it, just not play this version.
Look,
for second edition or XP, those are good versions.
I think the reason they don't know what paranoia is because they live in constant paranoia of microaggressions.
Mm. Yeah, it's just like microaggressions don't really. Well, yeah, they're not really. Well, they are a thing in paranoia, but not in the way you're thinking.
Microaggressions in paranoia, I'm guessing it's when something goes wrong, but it's minor.
Yeah, and then the computer gets pissed about it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's when you're in the red sect and you accidentally step in the blue sect. That'll get you in a lot of trouble.
Apparently, in the new South Park game, microaggressions are a type of counterattack you can have.
Really? That's funny.
Like if you get a microaggression and you notice it, you can use it to get a free attack. And then at the end, apparently PC Principal tells you why the microaggression was bad. But it's like I don't have this game, but the example I heard was someone said like go cry home to your mom, and that was a microaggression. And then PC Principal at the end said, yeah, that people should be free to cry home to their mom or their dad.
Oh my gosh.
So South Park apparently continues to impress for the people who have it. But then you have to know what all the microaggressions are, though, so maybe that's not good.
But yeah, so paranoia is paused. Or at least the newest edition. Like, so there's older editions that are good, so it's not a total loss. But
I love this current year. I love the chat in the current year edition.
The current year edition.
That's wow. It's 2016. Holy shit! It actually says it's 2016.
16, yes.
This isn't a rule book.
Yeah.
What happens when it's 2052 when someone pulls this dusty thing out and laughs at it?
Well, hopefully they'll have a better edition of Paranoia to play by then.
I'm putting this in my Discord. Under politics.
The thing is also, like, there was an edition of Paranoia called 5th Edition, which was so bad that they considered it an unproduct. Like, nobody talks about it because, that's treason. This is worse.
Okay, hold on. Post that. Okay, now I need a picture of this. Where's my snipping tool? Snip. Anyone ever use the snipping? Damn it! Anyone ever use a snipping tool? I broke my start menu. How the fuck did I? It's actually not responding. What the? My start menu died. I can't open it. It just freezes. I need my snipping tool. Damn it! There we go.
So.
Snipping tool. There we are.
Oh man. So yeah, there's that. Let's see what other topics we have, because I know there's a couple more.
Okay, I posted that. Holy shit, it's 2016, everyone. It's 2016.
That attitude at the door, like. Oh yeah, okay, this article. This is the one that Sefka demanded that we discuss.
Is this our last one?
No.
No?
No.
No.
You said we have a lot of topics today.
Never that.
All right. Woman who tricked friend into sex by pretending to be a man using fake penis, jailed for 6.5 years.
Yes, everyone. This has happened. You see, it's 2017. You should expect things like this.
He's expect women to trick people into, you know.
It's better. It's better than that. This woman cried in the dock as she was sent back to jail yesterday for tricking a woman into believing she was a man by making her wear a blindfold when they met and by using a prosthetic penis during sex. Wearing a blindfold. Did she never peek?
Apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not.
Oh, and there crashes the animal. Of course.
Her own words, she said, nightmares still remain, the distrust remains, and the fear still remains. I don't know how I feel about this. It's like, because she clearly consented to the sex, but it was...
Well, there's definitely an element of fraud in this.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's just such a weird situation. Like,
she okay, look, we all know that she only got in trouble because she impersonated a man, so she got a man's punishment.
Yeah, in the UK, if you're a woman, you usually get a suspended sentence.
That's insane. I don't doubt it at all.
Yeah. Oh, there was an old story about some medical student that stabbed her boyfriend, and she got a suspended sentence.
I did see
because
that.
of her potential.
Yeah, but the other student. What happened to the male medical student? I try to remember where he got. He grabbed a woman's breast during sex, and he now has he's now registered as a sexual offender because he did that during consensual sex. And he's a promising medical student too, but he's fucked.
What? Why? That doesn't make sense.
You didn't hear about that?
No, we didn't discuss that one.
Let me see if I have. Still pull that up here now. I'm trying to remember what I saw.
Planning was deceit. Successful execution. The outsider unaware of the full history might.
You have fun there?
I'm just reading this. Like, how could you not know?
Oh well, I mean, with the blindfold, prosthetics are pretty good.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just. How could you not know that it was a woman and not a man in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe it was a lady boy. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure I killed this thing in The Witcher 3. Yeah, that. We discussed that last week, I think, right?
Oh, this is something else. Damn it, where is it? It's here somewhere. Wait a minute. I'm gonna keep looking. Should be banned. Sexual. Oh, here we are. Here we are. I found it. There it is. This is not even on our docket, but here you go.
Medical graduate put on sex offenders after grabbing Tinder date breasts during sex. All right, scroll down. I want to see this one too.
First, the comparison shot.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You don't have the article, just the.
Oh, I did the article. Here it is. This is the article.
Oh, okay, good. It was taken to court for repeatedly grabbing a woman's breast hard and pulling her hair when they completed intercourse. By consenting to sex, the victim told him she did not want her breast touched and accused him of using sexual force. Jesus Christ. You know, this is why people go to MGTOW and go to dolls, man. Like,
now, of course, people are going to say, "Oh, well, she said no." At first, it's probably played up for the case because that's what happens. But second, may I do this? Yes, no. May I do that? Yes, no. And now, I'm sorry, but apparently, real life sex is now going to be just like cyber sex.
Mm.
When people walk up, they're going to go ASL.
You almost need to.
I mean, it's not like you can tell anymore.
Yeah.
That's enough of that. We'll go back on course. Back to this one.
Well, to say. See, I guess the part where I'm confused, like I understand, she was wearing a blindfold and let's see, wear a blindfold all times when they met. Only found out when she finally took off the mask.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
What, wear a blindfold?
Every single time.
Well, yeah, if it's a kink, I'm not gonna. It's not the blindfold part that confuses me. It's the part that you couldn't tell it was a woman. Like, you seriously thought this person was a dude? Well, that's the part I don't get.
How am I not following Orwell and Good, even though I have his tweet? Following that now.
Really? Oh yeah, Orwell and Good is great. State for satanic homosexuality.
Okay, that I can't.
It's 2016, man. So there's that. Wooly Ram is doing the request for TV's Descent. We should go ahead and post
I thought he
that.
stabilized actually, but let's see. What's the site called again?
Oh, I don't know.
Social Blade.
Yeah. Also, one Bitcoin is over $6,000 now.
Bitcoin or
Just
Bitcoin Cash? Which one?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Okay.
Yeah, no, Bitcoin Cash isn't worth anything. That was kind of.
He's stabilized. See? He's kind of. He's stabilized it up right there. See? He's I don't know what his views are like. Obviously, the views are always going to be a green because you don't tend to lose views, but yeah, they're pretty consistent deltas there. That one's a little low. Yeah, he's going.
National Review, is that credible?
National Review is a conservative magazine out of Washington. It's the one that has Bill Kristol as its editor.
Okay, that's probably pretty good then.
I mean, Bill Kristol's a cuck, but doesn't mean all of his writers are.
Yeah. Oh, Bill Kristol. That's the masturbate to anime guy. Is that? Yeah, I think that is. Okay.
What are we doing?
Basically, just expect it to have a neocon bias.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Is there a link I'm supposed to be looking at? What's going on?
Not yet. I was looking for a link, and then I found one. I was asking about National Review.
I don't. Oh, I mixed them up. Bill Kristol is Weekly Standard.
Oh, okay.
I'm mixing up Washington, but National Review I think is also.
This one's written by
a neocon one.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, this lovely, lovely event.
Yeah.
Really? It's not just the Clintons.
Yeah, apparently Obama's involved as well.
Oh my God, this is not going to get any traction. I mean, it's gonna go and it's gonna go, and just like Hillary's shit leading up to the election, it's not going to get any traction.
Probably not. That's why we got to talk about it.
That damn reset button was abysmal.
Oh, the tentacle porn guy. That's Kurt Eichenwald, Corix. I'll never forget Kurt Eichenwald.
No, ever forget Kurt Eichenwald.
Yeah, no, that dude is like the biggest lol cow. No, Bill Kristol's the guy that said the alt-right, there are a bunch of kids in their basements that masturbate to anime.
Yeah. And Bill Kristol was anti-Trump during the primaries.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how far his anti-Trump thing's gone.
Yeah, Bill Kristol, he's still bitter about it. I would say I think he was pushing for McMullen.
Oh yeah, he was. He was one of the people pushing for McMullen.
He's one of those deep state psychopaths. But so yeah, apparently, the Clintons were involved in the trading uranium with Russia. That was kind of a known thing. Like that was something that was known for a while. What it turned out is that the Iran deal was involved in that somehow too. So, I wish I knew more on this. Trying to find like a more concise article, but what the hell?
Maybe we should just summarize.
All the articles are like really elaborate.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find like a good summary.
Oh, what? You don't have one in your head already?
No, not really. Like
Basically,
I've been hearing like a lot about this. Go ahead, yeah.
The Clinton. I only have the basics here. The Clintons are implicated, actually directly involved, in the selling of huge amounts of our uranium. Our biggest supply, I think it's in a mine or something called Uranium 1.
Yeah.
To Russia, Russian ownership. The sale has to be approved by the State Department, I believe, because it is because of what it is. And mysteriously, along the time with the approval, while Hillary was in that position, there was a large donation to the Clinton Foundation from Russians, I believe, that coincided with this, and then it was allowed to go through. Isn't that interesting, everyone? Isn't that so interesting?
It has to be a coincidence. It has to be a coincidence.
Total coincidence.
Yeah, they just wanted to help starving orphans in
but
Haiti.
I thought it was
Haiti. Yeah, Haiti.
I thought it was Trump that was colluding with Russia, not Clinton. You mean the media lied to me?
No. What you're thinking now is fake. It's libelous and slanderous.
Yeah, and you could get sued if you repeat it.
Yeah, you can't because Snopes says it's not true. I'm sure. Actually,
Snopes does say it's not true. I'm looking right at it.
Wait, they do? Give me the link. I gotta see this.
Yeah.
I just guessed.
Hold on.
Oh my God, you're serious?
Yes. I'm 100% serious.
Holy shit! No, this isn't real. This can't be real. Okay. So we got the origin. Yeah. Where is your hair splitting?
It's false because it's only 19% of the uranium.
No, it's because it's 21%.
The timing of the donations don't match, apparently. Oh, the uranium remained in the U.S. despite the transfer of ownership. It could leave any time, you idiot.
Yeah.
They could even sabotage if they wanted to. There's disclosure mistakes.
Update.
Yeah, that's the update. Information not shared with U.S. officials, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, but they're claiming that no one knew about that, so it doesn't matter.
Of course.
I've seen their shit where they will split the hairs so much. It'll be like, they'll normally have like a series of events, and they'll be like, there's no evidence that actually links these things, other than common sense. Or they'll like do the intent thing where it's like, there's no evidence that there was an intent to do this or that. And it's like, oh, fuck off. The action informs us of the intent at this point. There's so much of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that uranium got to Iran when they made. And
Well,
that's why
this is
they made
great.
the Iranian
This
deal.
is amazing. This is amazing. The timing of the donation doesn't match. Of the 145 million allegedly contributed by the Uranium One investors, the lion's share, 131.3 million, that's 131.3 million, came from a single donor, Frank Gustra, the company's founder. But Gustra sold off his entire stake in the company in 2007, 3 years before the Russia deal, and at least 18 months before Clinton became Secretary of State. So of course, the fact that this guy was the company founder has nothing to do with it. I mean, because he was financially divested after this. Of course, he sold off his stocks. That we're saying. Of course, he has nothing to do with it now. It's as if he was never involved.
It's hilarious. Yeah, they're really putting damage control here.
Only one of these other people connected to Uranium One was found to have contributed during the same time frame as the deal. Because, of course, there's no way that people would pre or post pay for this in the interest of after under the table deals in the interest of having future deals still work, or not getting killed.
Let's see.
Well, this main guy was. Oh, you're referring to how many stocks did he get rid of? His entire stake in the company in 2007, he got rid of it, supposedly. Which, of course, that's not even how that works, because that's a financial stake in the company, but you can still be employed by a company you don't own any of. Hell, I don't own any of the company I work at. That's the normal thing. So, I mean... So, at no stake. So they're saying he can't directly benefit. What they're saying is he can't directly benefit from it because he doesn't own the company to sell it. They're saying.
Yeah, basically.
But he donated all this money, and he can always donate. But it's so bullshit. It could be a bonus. It could be all sorts of things. Like he could be under the table by another group. That's how they're trying. This is what they said. Despite all these people who have connections donating within by the time frame, two of which, with the lion's share on one of them being within the time frame, it doesn't count because he doesn't own the company anymore. No. What? No. He probably sold the things to a trust or something. He probably still benefits somehow. This is Snopes, everyone. This is how Snopes works. They create a plausible deniability for anything. And of course, because they do this stuff, they do the complete opposite when it comes to things that are on the other side politically. When something comes up on the other side politically, they would just use the same rationale to say that the owner, they might even mention, for the sake of protecting themselves from being called out, that the guy doesn't own it anymore. But they'd still say that the timing is suspicious, the people involved are suspicious, and at the very least, they'd say plausible, if not true, if this was a Republican. Fuck you, Snopes.
Yeah, Snopes is cancer. So move on.
Everyone's listening to the Brotherhood of Mechanical Keyboards.
I'm hoping something comes of this. I know nothing's going to, but can we fucking arrest this bitch already? Like, seriously?
No, it'll never happen. Stuff will just keep coming up and being knocked down, I almost wonder if the stuff is being revealed a little bit at a time so they can each be knocked down. Nothing to see here.
Can we arrest her before she dies, of old age? That would be really nice.
No, we can apparently arrest her soul or something, I'm sure.
Well, I suppose her soul's going to be going to hell anyway. But it's a whole other matter.
That's assuming she didn't sell it already.
Oh, she already sold it. We know that. We've seen the paperwork for that, man.
Oh my. I'm tempted to see if Snopes has an article on whether or not she sold her soul or not.
Did Hillary Clinton sell her soul? When I put sell, it said uranium like a whole bunch of times. That as soon as I went to soul, it like disappeared.
Yeah, actually,
Nothing.
you don't sell your whole stake in a company completely, especially if you're the founder. There needs to be a lot more attached to that. Like you would be stepping down, someone else would be taking over. Is he still? Does he still have a job there? Or is he completely detached? And even then, even if you leave, you don't sell all your stock. You might sell your stock in the company very slowly over time. Because if you sell it all quickly, you're causing a big issue. So, assuming that he sold it slowly over time, that I don't know. Something's not right. Something's really not right here.
Apparently, the biggest thing on Hillary selling her soul is actually a Milo article. It's a Charlie Nash article about Milo. Goes back to 2015. Now I think we've exhausted all our topics. I think we've run through them all.
Are you sure? Because I mean, it's
no,
it's 2016 apparently.
It's 2016.
Yeah.
You're never gonna get over that, are you? I don't blame you.
It's in official instructions paperwork. It's in official instructions paperwork. What the?
Yeah.
What the? I no.
Oh, that's one last thing. Corey Feldman got arrested for drug possession.
Oh yeah, isn't that suspicious?
Yeah, right as all these allegations of sexual assault are going down, they're probably afraid that he's gonna start naming names. So
how long until he was this blob over here right next to my character? I should say.
Well, hopefully not.
Because he hangs himself in prison. I'm waiting. It's coming. I really should remove that blob because we'll give it. Watch. This video will get deleted because of suicide blob. Everyone, remember after the show, download the video.
There is that. Yes, if you like this video, go ahead,
Download
comment, subscribe, and download.
In case they delete it, like the one that they deleted that caused us to be on this backup channel, because apparently we violated copyright, but they can't tell us what copyright, and instead they said that we were misleading.
I still think it was the tags I used, because I did tag it like Nazi and Islamic terrorism. So
you can't tag those at the same time. You should know better.
Well, we were talking about Nazis and Islamic terrorists, so
there's no such thing as Islamic terrorist Nazis.
Oh wow. Yeah. So anyway, about that
one Israel paper.
My channel, my real channel, is due to come back up on November 15th. So it should only be about 3 more weeks before we can, discard the.
Although we might also, maybe we should rename this one something else and use it directly anyway.
I'll probably just keep this as a backup channel in case I inevitably need it again.
I still want to try streaming with Discord and stuff instead.
Yeah, we can give that a try sometime. But I think that's pretty much all our topics. We kind of ran them through, and I hope everybody enjoyed that. I know there was a lot to discuss, and we kind of plowed through it as quick as we could.
We kind of ran them through. Yes.
Yeah.
With a sword.
What is the current year? It says so in the Paranoia book. Or I guess the current year -1 in this case.
I can't. I can't. They actually did it.
Oh yeah.
They actually put. It's 2016. We're done with that. It's 20. I'm sorry. This is painful at a level that I don't know if you can understand.
Well, I mean,
this is official paperwork.
You think it's painful? You're not a tabletop guy, man.
It costs money to print this. Yeah, this is me, and I'm not even a tabletop person.
I mean, you have no idea how painful this is to somebody that enjoys the game. Like paranoia is the shit, man. Like
Yeah, Paranoia is a great game.
it really is.
But personally, I find this absolutely hilarious just for the 2016. That's like the icing on the cake.
Oh,
it's a shit cake, but it's icing.
No. No more. No more.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all our topics. So if anybody's got any final thoughts they want to add.
Well, it's 2016, folks.
Fuck.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, this just came out and it's already out of date. I want to add that. Like, yeah, this just came out. It kind of shows you the quality control here.
Wait, it came out this year?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it just shows you the level of editing in this.
Yeah.
Which is to say, probably absolutely no editing.
It came out this year. You're saying it...
I'm pretty sure. Now you got me looking it up here. Paranoia newest edition.
Yep, it came out May 15th, 2017.
Yeah. So yeah, this is...
So this is even better.
So it's not even accurate.
Oh no, where'd it go? It's changed color. No, go back to black.
Oh, we broke milk.
There we go. I'm just fixing it. It's fine. It's fine. Everything will be fine in a minute.
Oh, believe me, you changing out 6 to a 7 is not going to be fixing anything.
There.
Pause. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for tonight. I'll catch you all next week.